Go.
You got it? You're
Yep.
on? Okay,
Yep.
perfect. We're both on. Okay, I'm gonna let people in.
Okay.
You're recording too, Jillian?
Yep.
Okay. Do you want to make me co-host and I'll record too?
Hello, hello. Happy Monday, everyone. I hope we're having an amazing day. I am super excited to share some valuable information with you guys. Just sending the link out to a few people. This is one of my favorite topics. Thank you for being here, Amber. Where are you guys tuning in from? I know where Tabby's tuning in from. Orlando. Hey, we're neighbors, kind of. Ooh, El Salvador. Well, hello. El Salvador is beautiful. I'm just gonna play some music for like a couple of minutes and I will be getting started in like 60 seconds or so. Cleveland, Ohio, Indianapolis. Welcome, welcome. All right. Okay, so we are going to be talking about the immune system when we are, well, let me just back up. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and start from there. But for those of you who don't know me, I don't know if everybody's already been on one of my calls before. My name is Crystal Longmire, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that I can show you all of the amazingness that I have to share here. Maybe. Okay. So we are going to be talking about the immune system. We're going to be talking about how to boost your immune system without using medication and why it's something you might want to consider, as opposed to the way that you may have been taught with Western medicine and such. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get started here. So before I do, just want to let everybody here know that I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical practitioner. And everything I'm about to show you is my opinion based on my own personal research. I do have several certifications in the holistic health field, but I'm still not a licensed doctor or practitioner. So I'm not attempting to prescribe medical advice. I'm not going to tell you that what you're doing is going to treat, prevent, or cure any disease. And if you choose to take any of the following information, use it for yourself, you are advised to consult your licensed medical practitioner for advice on whether you should take this information and use it for yourself. This is for educational purposes only. And should you choose to take any of these potential recommendations without consulting a licensed professional, that is done at your own risk. You are responsible for your own body autonomy and the possible application of the educational information you receive from this presentation. So now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about why this information is interesting to me and in the first place. So I used to be a hypochondriac. And for those of you that don't know what a hypochondriac is, it means that every time you have any symptom of the slightest degree, you think something is terminally wrong with you. And maybe that's not the full definition, but that's the way that I was. I was that type of person, meaning that if I had a headache 2 days in a row, I thought I had a brain tumor and I needed to go to the doctor. If I had a stomach ache, I thought that I had some kind of severe stomach issue and I went to the doctor. I used to go to the doctor probably 3 or 4 times a month. And I went to the ER unnecessarily multiple times as well. When I was in 8th grade, I went on a school trip to Washington, D.C., and I had a cold when I went on that school trip. And I used to keep a medicine cabinet full of all these over-the-counter medications. So I brought a bunch of over-the-counter medications with me to deal with my cold. And one of the things that I had with me was a bottle of Robitussin, several bottles actually. And I used to carry it with me, or not used to, but on this particular trip, I carried the Robitussin with me everywhere I went and drank it straight out of the bottle, because I had this cough that would not stop. And I felt like drinking the Robitussin was going to help the cough, but it actually didn't help the cough at all. So, 1 second. So sorry. So I don't know if you've heard this before, but people think that, or a lot of people have taken the cough medicine or cough medicine of that nature because of the possibility of getting high off of it. So that's not what I was taking it for. But the fact that you can get high off of cough medicine is also something that should be a warning. Okay. Medicine cabinet, like I said, was full of all the over-the-counter medication. So I used to have Mucinex and Robitussin and NyQuil and Dayquil and Sudafed and every type of pain medication that you could think of, and melatonin and all of these different things. I used to have my medicine cabinet stocked with all of those things at all times. And every little pain that I got, from a headache to back pain to menstrual cramps to whatever the pain was, I took ibuprofen for it all the time. And during this time, I had intense illnesses 4 times a year or more. I thought that was normal to get sick because, especially during flu season, and we're going to talk about flu season here in a few, but oddly enough, even with all of these different factors of my lifestyle back then, I used to refuse getting flu shots. I didn't believe in flu shots. I felt like getting a flu shot was something that was going to make me sicker. It wasn't going to actually help. My mom was a huge advocate for them, and I wouldn't get them. And then when I got into the military, that wasn't an option. I had to take the flu shots when I was in the military. It was required. There was no way out of it. There was nothing that I could do. So when I did take these flu shots during military season, I got the flu every time. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Furthermore, my mom, who was a huge believer in the flu shot at the time and no longer is, she was hospitalized with the flu one year when she took the flu shot, like for 4 days in the hospital, like in detrimental state. So to me, all of this is a problem. So let's talk about the human immune system, which is what we're here to talk about. So I am learning about this actively right now in my holistic nutrition course. I'm studying to be a holistic practitioner so that I can, say that I am actually a holistic practitioner. But the immune system is a network of organs, tissues, cells, and they all work in unison to protect the body against any and all foreign invaders. So it's actually the most complex system in your body, and it identifies all foreign invaders once they enter your bloodstream, once they get into your body. It generates this communication system to the rest of your body regarding what kind of defense mechanisms are needed, and then it transports its own form of weapons via your blood cells and your lymph nodes to launch an attack on whatever is entering, whatever foreign invaders you have, and it attacks those and it gets rid of them. It also attacks misbehaving cells like cancer cells, constituents of something that you've eaten, viruses, parasites, bad bacteria, or any toxins that you're exposed to. So that's what your immune system's purpose is. That's what it's for. Okay. So the things that make up the protective parts of your immune system, we've got our physical barriers, and the biggest physical barrier is your skin. So you've got your skin and your mucous membranes inside the body, is what that's supposed to say, not inside the boy, inside the body. And then you have your innate immune system, which is your white blood cells, and that determines what is yourself and what is not yourself. So that's how, like, your innate immune system is what knows, like, okay, this is foreign, this doesn't belong in here, and I need to get rid of this. And then you have your adaptive immune system, which actually tags or flags invaders, and it communicates a decision on how the body is going to respond and get rid of the foreign invader. So this is the different components. So did you know, put it in the chat, yes or no, did you know that getting sick is good for you? Did you know that getting sick is actually good for you? It's good for you to get sick. Everybody's always trying to avoid it, right? But did you know that it was good for you? One of the things that I used to do all the time, when like I just mentioned, is I used to take Tylenol when I would get a fever because I wanted, right? It's marketed as not only a pain reliever, but also as a fever reducer. So I wanted to get rid of the fever as soon as possible. But when you do that, you're actually preventing your body's natural ability to fight the infection, because the fever is the indication that your body is responding to the foreign invader that has come into your body, right? Now, not all fevers are good, because if it gets too high in the 105-degree range, that can cause seizures. So we want to make sure that we are monitoring the fever, but there are many other things that you can do to reduce a fever, and all of them are natural. You do not need to put medication into your body in order to reduce that fever. And in fact, it could make your immune system weaker because you're stopping its natural ability to fight whatever it was that got into your body in the first place. So what's going to happen when you get this foreign invader is your body's going to send an increased blood supply to the affected area. And it's going to be in the form of either heat, which would be the fever, or that's also like if you get hurt, same thing, redness, swelling, or pain. And then this increased blood supply that carries these soldiers is going to kill anything that's not you. It's going to kill it for you. It's going to get rid of it. So here are some things that weaken your immune system. Okay. The number one thing that weakens your immune system is sugar. The number one thing, I'm going to say that again, that weakens your immune system is sugar. Another thing is the lack of nutrients. And it says white food in parentheses here. This is indicating for your awareness that food that is white has absolutely no valuable nutritional value for you. So that includes pasta, depending on where it's derived from, bread, white rice, and white potatoes, right? If you've ever heard the term eat the rainbow, that means that it's better for your body if you eat a variety of colors in your nutritional pattern, in your palate. The more colors that you eat, the more nutritional value you are consuming. Another thing that weakens your immune system is drugs. And I don't mean like illegal drugs. I mean painkillers and antibiotics. The very things that we were taught are actually helping us to get better from whatever illnesses we contract. Lack of sleep weakens your immune system. I think it's pretty obvious that alcohol and smoking weaken your immune system. Chronic stress, we're going to talk about in a little bit more depth later on in this call. And then toxins and pollution, which we actually talked about on one of the previous episodes of Random and Relevant. So if you didn't see that and you would like to connect on my YouTube channel, I would love if you would follow and watch those previous episodes, because this is actually episode 5. There's 3 other episodes that we've discussed. And then fried food. This is not a comprehensive list. This is not everything that weakens your immune system, but these are like the key players, okay? So let's look at the ingredients in over-the-counter medications. And I looked up Robitussin, Mucinex, children's Tylenol, children's Dimetapp, Sudafed, and Emergency, right? These are all things that are supposed to help us feel better. So DNC yellow number 10, that's a dye. Cane sugar. DNC red number 40, also a dye. Flavors, which means they're artificially derived. High fructose corn syrup, that's also sugar. Sucralose, that's also sugar. DNC yellow number 10, also a dye. FDNC blue number 1, also a dye. Now, that's not even counting all of the chemicals that they're putting in the medication on top of these ingredients, but I wanted to center on these because these are things that I just mentioned weaken your immune system. Sugar, and I didn't talk about dyes, but this is from the 3rd episode of Random and Relevant. I pulled the slide straight from there and I changed the pictures on it. Since 1977, the use of synthetic dye in medicine has been drastically increased. So food dyes, same dyes that they're using, exact same ones that they're putting in the medications, they were man-made, and they were originally from coal tar, but now they're made from petroleum. Petroleum is the same product that oil comes from, that gas comes from. It's used to make gasoline, diesel fuel, asphalt, and plastic. So these dyes disrupt your immune system. Once again, they increase inflammation. They contain cancer-causing toxins, which could lead to cancerous tumors. They can cause hypersensitivity in children. And remember, I was looking at the ingredients in children's medication, right? So they cause hypersensitivity in children. They negatively impact your liver, your nerve cell development, the development of your nerve cells. They're linked to respiratory disorders, asthma, bronchitis, and it increases leaky gut, which interferes with digestive enzymes. So these are things that you don't want to consume if it's avoidable, okay? You definitely don't want to consume any dyes. Now, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Who's seen Mary Poppins? Spoonful of sugar, right? So I wonder why they put that song in a children's movie, though, right? Why are we putting, so just a reminder, because I've talked about this on a previous call as well, sugar in any amount suppresses your immune system for 4 hours. So when you're consuming sugar in any amount, it suppresses your immune system for 4 hours. So why are we putting sugar in medication, which is supposed to be helping us feel better, if sugar actually suppresses the immune system? Could it be so that we can stomach the taste of whatever chemicals are inside our medications? No, thank you, friends. So, stress. Said I was going to talk about this in a little bit more detail. I just learned this in what I'm studying, which is actually the immune system. And that's the reason that I wanted to talk about this today. Plus, it's what a lot of people ask to hear more about. But when you're exposed to stress, most people know this part. When you're exposed to stress, your adrenal glands release cortisol, and cortisol is a stress hormone, okay? But I did not know this. In small quantities, the stress hormone of cortisol is actually good, because this is what triggers your fight or flight response. And this is good in instances when you actually need to flee, right? When you need to fight, when you need to have that response. It's good. It increases your energy, but continued high stress raises the cortisol levels and it keeps them high. And when you're in this period of a high cortisol state, your immune system cells, the ones that fight all of these invaders, they disappear. The cells disappear. Not only that, but the cortisol becomes identified by the immune system as a threat, and it starts getting attacked by the remaining immune system cells that are meant to attack actual invaders. And then when you're in this high stress state, this is why we get sick when we're stressed, friends. Then when you're in this high stress state, the real foreign invaders that come in, they're unrecognized. They're not, nobody, the cells on the inside of your body that are designed to attack those foreign invaders, they're not paying attention to those foreign invaders because they're attacking your cortisol because it's in abundance in your body. And so they're not paying attention. They're too busy to attack the actual threat. How crazy is that? So let's see here. Flu season. Is it flu season? Drop in the chat if you think it's flu season right now or flu season is coming. I saw this post and I basically like reiterated because I could not believe how accurate it was. Do you get affected in your household by flu season? And if the answer to that question is yes, then here's why. Here's maybe why, right? I don't know what your household looks like. I don't know what your practices are, but a lot of people, when it's flu season, they start disinfecting all their surfaces with Lysol and bleach and using lots of hand sanitizer, which has lots of toxins in it, right? Then they have right now, Halloween's this month, right? So they have Halloween parties that they go to. There's trick-or-treating. A bunch of candy comes in their house because if they have kids, especially, they're taking their kids trick-or-treating because that's a thing. The kids are going to want to do that, right? So the candy that the kids are bringing home is full of dyes and sugar. So those are two things that I just mentioned weaken the immune system. Then we have Thanksgiving next month. We've got endless pies and lots of white foods, right? Can you think of all the white foods that you eat on Thanksgiving that have no nutritional value? Then Thanksgiving's over. We've got Black Friday, holiday shopping stress. Kids are home from school. We're baking all the Christmas cookies, all the sugar. We're being surrounded by family that we only see on the holidays. Maybe that's a potentially toxic environment, which is doing what? Inducing stress. Then maybe we're planning New Year's Eve parties, whether we're going to them or we're planning them. So that's stressful. And then if we attend said New Year's Eve parties, we're probably drinking lots of alcohol and lots of sugary drinks. And then during this time period, over the next 3 months, most people stop exercising if they're regular exercisers, or they exercise less. They don't sleep properly. Their nutrition is poor for several months in a row. So let's look again at what weakens the immune system. Sugar and lack of nutrients and alcohol and lack of sleep and chronic stress and pollution and toxins, right? So we're putting ourselves through 3 months of perpetual exposure to all of these things. Now, I'm not trying to take away your holiday joy, friends, because let me let you know, I love me some pie. I love me some Christmas cookies, and I don't have kids yet, but trick-or-treating is one of my favorite things to do with kids. I do have nieces and nephews, and I love trick-or-treating with children. I'm not trying to take it away. I'm just trying to bring awareness to what may be the actual cause of flu season. That's all I'm saying, right? And let's say you do get sick. Are we wanting to put those medications in our bodies that are packed with chemicals, that are loaded with dyes, that have sugar in them? Like, is that really how we want to heal our bodies? So here's some immune system nutrients. These nutrients strengthen your immune system, and they should come from food as much as possible, right? What I mean by that is going and buying a multivitamin isn't necessarily the best way to get these nutrients into your body. We've got vitamin A, we've got zinc. A lot of people heard zinc is really powerful. There's also, I'm not going to pronounce it properly, so I'm not even going to say it. Certain types of proteins are good. Curcumin, which is the scientific name for turmeric. Probiotics and prebiotics, which help your gut health, and your gut health is directly connected to your immune system health. Essential fatty acids like omega-6 and omega-3s, which only comes from a few sources. So you might have to get an oil that has this, that's not a seed oil. Selenium, iron, vitamin B6, vitamin C, folate, vitamin E, rosemary, antioxidants, vitamin D, and echinacea. Now, with that being said, there are some whole food supplements that you can take, and I am going to share that in just a second. But I didn't really talk about this in too much depth because I don't want to go too scientific on you. The stuff that I'm learning in this class is uber scientific, but deep breathing is an extremely powerful way to assist the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is the other part of your immune system besides your white blood cells that carries out the job and the duty of attacking all of the invaders that come in. So doing deep breathing exercises on a daily basis can actually assist the lymphatic system and strengthen your lymphatic drainage ability. Rebounding, which I didn't realize that's what this was called, but rebounding is jumping on a mini trampoline. And I actually have a mini trampoline on my balcony that I jump on, not every day, but on occasion. And I didn't know that was called rebounding. So doing that for 7 minutes can completely drain your entire lymphatic system. Massage is another way to get the lymphatic system draining. I actually go to a holistic doctor, and she has a pressotherapy machine that actually squeezes your arms and your belly and your legs and your feet. And it's also infrared. So it also drains the lymphatic system, and it feels kind of like a massage, but you don't have to do all that. You can also just get a massage. And if you don't have the funds to be able to go and get a massage, or the time, or whatever it is, there's a thing in Ayurvedic medicine called self-massage, where you can get an oil and you can actually do massaging of your own body. And that is going to assist in lymphatic drainage as well. And then movement, AKA exercise, is also something that's going to assist. Now, before I move on to the next slide, I am going to lead you all in a little bit of breathing. So we are going to do some breathing right now, so that we can assist our lymphatic drainage. Okay. So you don't have to close your eyes. You can keep them open if you want, or you can close them if it feels better. We're not going to do this for a super long time, but we're going to breathe in through our nose, deep breathe all the way down into the belly for a count of 3. So breathing in, hold it at the top, and then exhale through the nose for a count of 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, hold it at the top. Breathing out for a count of 3, 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, hold it. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in. And exhale. Last one, breathe in. Exhale. The beautiful thing about it is that there's so many different kinds of breathing exercises. There's deep breathing, like what we just did, where we're just intentionally breathing. There's Wim Hof, which is one of my favorites. If you've never tried it, I highly recommend it. There's something called Bhastrika, which is a fast belly breath. It's spelled Bhastrika, Bhastrika. And that's a yogi breath. Then there's something called Nadi Shodhana, also a yogi breath, which is a slower breathing. And that's Nodi, new word, Shodhana, Nadi Shodhana. So there's so many different, and those are just the ones that I know off the top of my head, but there's like box breathing. There's so many different kinds of breathing. So breathing intentionally, regardless if it's what we just did, or if it's one of those other breathing techniques, or if you go on YouTube and you find a different breathing opportunity, breathing is one of the most underrated immune system boosters. And not only does it boost your immune system, but it oxygenates your blood and it gets oxygen to all of your organs in a way that most people don't ever get because they don't breathe intentionally ever. So just wanted to add that as a side note. So my recommendations are whole food supplements and probiotics. So find organic supplements that don't have any additives. There's a link here on the slide for Parsi herbs. This is where I get mine. And there is a discount code if you want to try those specific ones. This picture on the bottom right is all of the supplements that I take. And this was my doctor sending me a picture of them before she sent them to me. And some of them are duplicates. But in case you can't see this, because some of you I know are on your phones, one of them is for your immune system. And that immune system one is pre, post, and probiotics. There's Tree Spirit here, which is a tea that detoxes your body. There is a vegan protein here. There is powdered greens, a female blessing and a male blessing. So different hormones for different genders. There is Slim plus cholesterol away. For cholesterol, there's neuro plus pain. So if I ever develop any kind of pain, instead of reaching for headache medicine, I take neuro plus pain, and it actually works. There's arthritis, which isn't just for arthritis. I don't actually have arthritis. All of these different supplements have so many nutrients in them. Right? I'm actually going to go back to the previous slides here. All these nutrients that I listed that you want to consume, the beauty is that, yes, you should get them from Whole Foods, but they're also in these whole food supplements. There's a Health Power Plus, which is like a multivitamin. And then we have essential oils instead of medication. And I have a store coming soon. I actually make my own essential oil blends. And I'm going to talk in the next slide about why essential oils are so powerful. If you're not already using them, there's a reason that I highly recommend them. And then lots and lots of water. Now, I know not everybody here is a Kangen water drinker, and I'm not here to like share all of that information tonight. But if you want to know more about Kangen and why I'm such an advocate of it, that website there, elevatehydratevibrate.com, that actually is a full overview of it. But the reason that I'm suggesting it on this particular call is because Kangen water has more antioxidants in 1 glass of water than you can find in 5 pounds of blueberries. And I talked a few calls ago about the nutritional deficiency that's present in our produce today, that our food has 1/3 less the nutritional value, or 50% less nutritional value than it did back in the 50s. So a lot of times when I have conversations with people about essential oils, they say to me, well, isn't that just to replace candles? Like, shouldn't I just diffuse those so that, I'm not breathing in toxic fumes from candles? Yes, you should, because that is a great option, an alternative to candles. But no, they are not just for that. They're actually plant medicine, and that's what they were originally created for. So before Western medicine was invented 250 some years ago, people actually used plants to heal their bodies. And oils actually come from the root, the bark, the seed, the leaf, or the flower of a plant. And you can apply them topically and they absorb into your skin. So the blends that I make, they're roll on, and your skin is very absorbent, especially the bottoms of your feet, the palms of your hands, but your skin is absorbing anything that it comes into contact with. So you put these oils on your skin and they could be an incredible support for your overall immune system. They're also free of chemicals, free of sugar, and free of dyes. So when I get sick, I drink lots and lots of water. I eat fruits, I make vegetable soup for myself, and I apply essential oils. I also drink echinacea tea. I consume elderberry tea as well. And these are the ways that I support my overall immune system. So it's amazing to me that when people see this for the first time, I'd love to see those reactions. Like, wow, it actually worked. I've made essential oils. I have an immune booster. I meant to have them out, but in the collection that I have, in my medicine cabinet collection, which is what's pictured here, and it's actually super blurry, so you can't even really see it. But I have a headache relief oil. I have a digestive aid oil, an immune system boosting oil, a respiratory assist oil, a pain relief oil. And then there's one that's not pictured here, which I guess it wouldn't matter even if it was, because you can't even read the labels. But the other one is for allergies. So using these and applying them topically can help boost your immune system. So they can help deal with respiratory issues. I know a lot of people that have asthma that use the respiratory assist to kind of help their breathing whenever they have attacks. The digestive aid, I actually put on my belly every night before I go to sleep, and it just helps my digestive systems function super smooth. I still, even though I do all these healthy things, I still get headaches, and the headaches are caused by something, whether it's a lack of nutrition, whether it's overexposure to EMF, whether it's stress, whether it's not drinking enough water. I get headaches, but I'm not going to take headache medicine because I know that that's doing more harm to my body than good, or at least that's my opinion. So I use headache relief oil and try to figure out what caused the headache in the first place. Pain relief is for like muscle pain or joint pain. And the immune boost is actually my favorite. I love it when I travel. I put it on the bottoms of my feet when I'm traveling or when I'm around people, like extra germs, right? Because in the event that I do contract some foreign invader from somebody that I don't normally spend time around, the immune boost helps my immune system just be a little bit stronger and a little bit more at the ready to be able to attack those foreign invaders if and when I do get sick. So this is the way that I kind of mitigate long-term illnesses. And I haven't really been sick, not really, for like 18 months. And the last time I was sick, it lasted for about a day and a half, maybe 2 days if I'm overshooting it. And it was like a mild fever and a little bit of a cough and some sneezing. Now, does that mean I'm immune and I can't get sick at all? No, that doesn't mean that. But it just means that natural does help you to heal your body and help your body heal itself the way that it was intended. Now, with that being said, with all of this being said, this call is going to end actually a little bit earlier than some of the other ones. But I just want to say that one size doesn't fit all. So the reason I'm saying this is because it would be absolutely amazing if you could just add all those nutrients to your diet that I said, start using essential oils, up your water intake, and that's just going to guarantee that your immune system is healthy. But the reason that might not be the case is because some people are already predisposed and susceptible to certain autoimmune deficiencies. Some people have chronic conditions that they've had for years, and just slapping on a few things here and there isn't necessarily going to heal. These same people are the people that may have been to multiple different doctors, may have been told that there's nothing wrong with them, may have been told that there is something wrong with them, and here's the prescription pill to fix it. And then, by the way, that's probably going to create a new problem, and here's the prescription pill to fix that. And then now we have this whole mess of medications in our bodies, right? They might have nutrient absorption issues or other health concerns. And this could mean that adding some of those nutrients like folate, like echinacea, adding some of those nutrients could actually do more harm to some people than good. So the reason I'm saying that is it's kind of like an added disclaimer that, yes, I do recommend all of these things. However, if it makes you not feel good, if it doesn't increase your immunity, if all of a sudden you have a reaction that you weren't expecting, don't immediately go, if you're really trying to transition to a holistic lifestyle, don't immediately go to a doctor and then have the doctor prescribe you a medication because you started taking all this natural stuff and it made you sick. Instead, reach out to somebody who can help you and guide you in a journey like this. I didn't have this at the beginning. I didn't have somebody to guide me. And even if holistic practitioners, like there's some things that holistic practitioners can prescribe, and it might not necessarily be what your body needs. There's herbs that help with the immune system boost. And I didn't even include those here because herbs, even though they're plants, right? Because you're taking them into your body, you could mix them wrong and they could cause stomach issues and digestive pain and all different kinds of things. So you want to make sure you do it under the supervision of a certified herbalist. I don't have a certified herbalist. I would love to find one. But if you're struggling with your overall health and you've seen doctors and you have no answers and you can't figure out how to be your healthiest self, or you have absolutely no clue where to start, then I actually also offer health coaching sessions, which is one of the things that I just recently started offering when I started studying holistic nutrition. And my goal in that realm is to help bridge the gap between your practitioner, whether that's a Western medicine practitioner or a holistic practitioner, and you, so that if there is something going on in your body that doesn't make sense, you're eating super healthy, you're vegan, you're doing all the right things, you're taking all the food supplements, you're drinking the water, you're not eating the sugar, but somehow you still have some kind of a health issue, then that's kind of what I want to do, is work with you one-on-one so that we can figure out together what it is that's causing the issue. Even right before this call, my husband and I actually had a conversation, and we were talking about the fact that once he detoxed his body, once he changed to the holistic lifestyle, his skin on his face started to break out. And you may or may not already know this, but acne is an inflammation response and a detoxification response, but he's had it for like 3 or 4 months. And it comes and it goes and it comes and it goes. And one of the things that I just learned is that sometimes we develop food sensitivities. And I actually didn't even put this in the presentation, but I am going to find my notes on it because we have time. I'm going to read this to you guys. So sensitivities to food could look like gas and bloating or incontinence in children, distended belly, congestion and sinus problems, migraines, lack of focus, low energy, mood swings, joint pain, weight loss resistance, eczema, rosacea, asthma, or any other autoimmune disorder. And these reactions to the food that you're taking in sometimes get ignored or overlooked, especially by Western medicine, but not just by Western medicine, because they occur 12 to 72 hours after you consume them. So it's not always as soon as you eat something, you get a reaction. Sometimes because of the way the digestive system works, which we're not going to go in depth on that necessarily, but you don't immediately digest the food that you consume. It has to go through this whole process before it gets to your intestines and then gets removed from your body as waste. And so that absorption process takes a couple days sometimes. And if you're eating, like, let's say you figured out that this is like your meal prepping or something, and you're like, I'm going to eat the same thing every day, Monday through Friday. What if the same thing every day, Monday through Friday that you're eating actually is something that you have a food sensitivity to, but you don't realize that the food sensitivity is something that you're eating every day because it doesn't show up until a few days later and it doesn't get worse and all of those different things. So, another thing, just to reiterate this, is summation of feedings. When a food is eaten daily or several times a day, a high blood level of that food is maintained. And then a reaction to a given food occurs while the person is still reacting to the previous meal of the food. And in this case, the symptoms tend to be chronic, right? So yes, you can heal yourself with food. You can heal yourself with holistic remedies and all of these different things. But again, one size does not fit all. And that's the reason that I wanted to iterate that, is because I am doing this masterclass series for free, obviously, and I am sharing this information with you. But what I don't want for people to do is I don't want people to take all this information and go like super hard on trying to apply all of it, and then maybe creating some kind of additional imbalance in their body because they didn't do it with guidance. And the reason I say that is because I tried to change my lifestyle to a holistic way. And this was when I didn't eat vegetables and when fruits were like kind of sporadic in my nutrition. And I ate lots of red meat and lots of pork and lots of white foods like potatoes and macaroni and cheese and bread like for days. And that was literally my thing. And I started cutting out some of these things from my diet that I was told, or I was learning, were causing ailments and issues and health problems and weren't good for me. But I didn't introduce any nutrients back in. So I literally robbed my body of all these different nutrients. And obviously I just told you all these nutrients that you could add, but I robbed my body of all these different nutrients. And that's when I found my holistic practitioner who gave me the food supplements to supplement my nutrition and kind of showed me how I could cook vegetables in a way that were good to me. And then I was able to eat them and enjoy them and change my nutrition and add to the things. And it just was this whole journey. So does anybody have any questions about any of that? Or comments? Give it like 30 to 60 seconds. And then if not, that's basically all I have for you this evening. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you for being here. Yes, health is the real wealth. Amen to that. All right, loves. Well, thank you all for being here. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to see those previous videos, episodes from before. And the next call is going to be on October. Nope. Is it October? It is October. On November 1st. And that's going to be at 7:30 p.m. And we're actually going to be talking about chakra healing on that day. Chakra healing part 1. Okay, so mark that in your calendars if you would love to be there. And I hope to see you all next time. I hope you have an absolutely amazing week.